What's going on, folks? TJ Lowerman, aka ThatSportsGamer, here for another episode of Bullpen Banter. And alongside me, as always, is my man Chris, aka Millennium OS. Probably banned you from Operation Sports this week. Chris, how's it going?
I mean, it's not that bad. I'm mad that my underlings do that.
You have underlings now?
Apparently.
I mean, apparently the mods aren't better than the Operation Sports writers, as we learned a couple weeks ago. So you're the writer's underling.
Just 1 week ago, and I was completely. I was distracted.
That was definitely
2 weeks ago. My budget team was. No, it was 2 weeks ago because I played you last week and lost. I don't think I've ever won a game on a live stream.
You haven't. That's why you just don't play them anymore. And we are also joined tonight by the inimitable PastaPadre from PastaPadre.com. Brian.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you just welcome me on for the retweets, right?
Yeah, that's the only reason you're here.
He's on to us.
Got to get those followers.
Happy to help, TJ. Although, in the future, maybe I'll just favorite your tweets.
I appreciate that, but I don't know where you would do that because now Twitter uses likes.
Oh, you're right.
So
stupid hearts.
Tragically,
you can retweet yourself now.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
that's a big thing. That's a big deal.
Did all those changes went in?
Yes, you can retweet yourself now.
But dude, now the links still count though, right?
Yeah, they haven't put that into place yet, where the links won't count towards the character count. So
this stuff is big, especially
but that's
for somebody, especially for somebody that tweets a link and an image for a stream. That's a lot of letters I get back.
You can fit like 6 words into those tweets currently.
I mean, this is huge. This is huge news, folks.
That's what they're here for, is breaking Twitter news.
Yep. As always, we start off the show by talking about what we've been doing recently, and since this is my show, I guess I'll go first. Recently in Diamond Dynasty, the big thing has been I've been playing this Yetis team, and that is absolutely zero fun. I've gotten a bunch of bronze rewards cards, even though I'm playing them on Legend. But I have been able to grind out the innings to finish the Command the Dodgers solo mission, and now I'm 44% of the way to this 98 Adrian Beltre flashback. I'm very excited about that. Other than that, I've just been playing Diamond Dynasty back up to a 1725 rating. I'm semi-happy about that. I can't hit with regular Adrian Beltre, so I don't really know why I'm going after this flashback Adrian Beltre. So,
defense?
Sure.
Yeah, he is the number 1 combatant for bunt cheese.
Well, I'd love to hit a home run with him. That'd be nice. Offensive cheese would be nice. Millennium, have you done anything extra fancy the last week?
Not too crazy. I've actually taken a step back from Diamond Dynasty for a little while. I've been still playing some Battle Royale, but mostly have gone into franchise heavy. Really building up on the Rockies franchise. We're in the 3rd year on the stream. And then I've been playing an offline Orioles franchise with the rosters that we will be using tonight to look over some stuff. And I'm in the 2nd year with that. So it should be fun to look over those rosters. And it's a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I'm now simming some more than I normally do. So it's changing my franchise strategy instead of playing all the games and, just bashing the computer's brains in. It's also learned me good.
Learned you good, right?
It learned me some patience because I moved up to Legend offline, and it's really tested my batting eye around the outside, which we could tell on live streams I am terrible at. So,
Pasta, I've been following your tweets and your YouTubes. You've been ripping packs like a madman every time a new pack comes out.
Yeah, because I have to show people that it's probably not a great idea to buy them. Do you agree with me on that? I mean, most of these packs, you might get lucky. I mean, that's what they're all about. But most of these packs are, you're really kind of throwing your stubs at just a slim chance of getting anything good. I mean, I think maybe you get to the point we are where you've collected the majority of the lower level, mid-level cards, and that if you don't get those golds and diamonds, the packs are almost useless, and they don't sell. Those cards don't sell. You're not going to recoup your investment most of the time. So they're, sometimes it's probably better just to take your stubs and go and just buy someone you want instead. I mean, but a lot of people are into the gamble of the packs, I guess.
Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just saying. I think it's well known that the best way to make stubs and spend them is on the market.
Shouldn't it be playing games?
You would
I
think.
mean, it absolutely should be. The problem is that I think you hit it on the head. It's that thrill of opening a pack, and it's like buying lottery tickets in real life. Some people, love doing that. Some people don't. It's just one of those.
And those people that love it go to the poorhouse.
Yes, very quickly. And the people that love it in the show go to the poorhouse very quickly too.
Yeah. Well, it amazes me because I'll see people, hey, pack opening, like 50 packs. Wow. That's a lot of money.
I love when it's I look in my YouTube feed and it's like, rip till I get a diamond. And it's like a 40-minute video. And I'm like, oh, wow. That sounds fun.
I hope the diamond was worth the $300.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's been, if I get like a PSN card for my birthday or something, much like Millennium, it's just like, I'm just going to buy stubs and go get Manny Machado because opening these packs is kind of pointless.
Pursuing specific players, whether it's with a collection or the different missions, that seems to be, to me, the most enjoyable part of Diamond Dynasty. Actually, is going after someone. Now, opening a pack and getting someone you didn't expect is a pretty brilliant feeling. But I think sometimes going after someone directly and obtaining them that way is really satisfying.
Yeah, it's so few and far between that you're going to pull a great card that I feel like doing the grind to have the coins to go buy someone is taking over that for me.
I feel like I have better luck at getting them as rewards after playing games or as login bonuses. I mean, I just got who did I just get as after a game? I got Andrew Miller for my bullpen.
Damn you! I don't think I've gotten anybody good.
Yeah, really, pretty nice score there. I've gotten a few other guys who are stalwarts on my lineup from that. Actually, I think better luck with that than with packs. So that's something I always look forward to.
Yeah. So we've all been having fun recently, it seems. As always, we're going to kick it off by talking about the recent roster update in MLB The Show. This week, it seems like everybody gets a gold. I think we got, 3 new golds this week. The main thing for the highest rated guy was Manny Machado moved from a 96 to a 97, but that was purely the position change from third base to short, which has been a long time coming, and they finally decided to do it now, right as... What's this guy's name? J.J. Hardy gets off the
J.J. Hardy came back. Yeah, J.J. Hardy came back from his rehab on Saturday, and Machado quickly went away on a 4-game suspension for the fight against Yordano Ventura.
Yep. So I don't know what they're going to do. I wonder if they'll give him a couple weeks at shortstop.
I mean, at this point, why not? I mean, they kept him at third base for 3 to 4 weeks while he was playing shortstop, so I would look out once he goes back to third base. I think he's going to get a small price drop just from people seeing that -1 on the overall. That means nothing. So if you're going to sell him and then rebuy him, do it now.
Yeah. I don't think I can sell mine, but I think I bought mine for like 54. So it would be a great time to sell right now.
Yep.
Sticking with the Orioles, Zach Britton goes from an 87 to an 89. Still very affordable. About 4,000.
Very affordable. And also, that sinker is probably one of the best pitchers in the game. And now all of his over 9s are above 80. So he's pretty... He was already sick, let's be honest. You're throwing a 95 to 97 mile-an-hour sinker with 91 break and 85 control on it. And that's pretty much the only pitch you need to throw with him. And then you bring in a 97 break slider. It's unhittable if you can pitch.
And the best part is, with that +2 upgrade, now when he gets those negative IE boosts like he gets every single day, he'll be an 87, which is great.
Is that, let me ask you something. I've noticed this with relievers. Why is it almost every reliever is down with inside edge? I hardly ever see relievers up.
That's a great question.
I think it's a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a thing. Yeah.
Small sample size, I think. That's what I'm going to go with.
Yeah.
That's going to be my excuse. Moving up from silver to gold is Houston closer Will Harris. I think the last 2 weeks he's gotten little bumps.
Yeah, this boost was mainly from his last boost on the 10th was an actual ratings boost. This boost was actually
moving him to closer.
Moving to closer, yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the few guys that I've been seeing that gets good IE boosts up. I think there was
It's
at one
'cause
point he was an
he's been
81.
unhittable in real life.
Yeah, at one point he was an 81, and I think he was boosted up to a 90, which I literally think he's the only reliever I've ever seen get a boost up, or at least up high enough to get on my squad.
Yeah. I never switch guys in and out of my bullpen. Pretty much, I sit with the guys I like. I don't know. Maybe it's just sometimes I feel like my confidence in them is more important than any ratings changes on a daily basis.
Yeah. If you're not confident in a guy's windup, it's not even worth playing with him.
Yeah.
You know what else it might be, just in theory? It's mostly relievers. Closing pitchers tend to fluctuate back and forth between a good and bad inside edge boost. Maybe it's the fact that most guys that aren't closing are relieving for a reason. Like, there's not too many shut-down relief pitchers anymore. So maybe that's what it is. You're saying small sample size. Maybe it's the inconsistency that they've shown over the years that inside edge is picking up on.
Right, you say that, but then all three of the Yankees closers, I say, but all three of the Yankees big relievers, they're always on negative IE boosts, and it's always together. So
yep, you're absolutely right.
I don't know. Crazy how this game works. LaCroix goes from 85 to 86. Not really that big of a jump. Would you like to talk about your favorite catcher in the world?
I would love to. Only just really quickly. Salvador Perez, obviously. Salve. Now that you got me saying that instead of Saleh. He actually dropped a little bit in the contact versus lefties, but now his power numbers are 74 versus righties and 60 versus lefties. He's such a good hitter, and he's good against righties. He's not salty against righties, but he's also a great fielder. 99 or 89 fielding, 83 arm strength. And 70 blocking. I just love him. And the 86 clutch comes in so much handy when you have him batting like sixth.
Yeah, he's a good player. I'd still probably sit him against the lefty, which is weird.
And still start what, Grandal?
Yeah, you probably still start Grandal. 54 contact versus lefties, 50 or 60 power. It's kind of whack.
Yeah,
especially for a righty, you don't see him with such low ratings against a lefty pitcher.
He's one of those weird guys that has those opposite splits in real life too. So,
Brian, would you like to talk about your homeboy Kyle Seager, who goes from 82 to 85?
Yeah, he. I don't know the specifics. You would have to pull it up, but I mean, he had a very slow start to the season. He was under 200, I think, in April, and then just went on a tear in May and June. And I think he's batting up near closer to 300 now. So he's been hitting the lights out lately.
Yeah, he got a 6 contact boost versus righties, a 10 power boost against righties, but he took a 10 contact hit versus lefties, and only gained 6 in power versus lefties.
Yeah, he's hit some. I think last year he might have led the league as a lefty hitting home runs off of lefties. I think I remember them saying that. I definitely remember him hitting some of them out this year, but maybe that explains his contact rating going down too. He struggled at the start of the year.
Mm-hmm. Also, Brian McCann drops from an 87 to an 84, which just makes me want to bring it up again. Have a catching platoon. I mean, if you want to use Salvador Perez, go ahead. But if you want to spend 1,500 to 2,000 stubs, do the 25-man missions for the Red Sox and the Dodgers and get the wait, is it Dodgers or is it Padres? It's Dodgers, right? Get the Dodgers, Yasmani Grandal, and the Red Sox, Jared Saltalamacchia. Both great against lefties. I think I tweeted out sometime last week where it was like, there's only 2 guys in all the game that hit better against lefties than Grandal as a catcher, and like 2 guys that hit better than Saltalamacchia against righties as a catcher. So very well worth picking those guys up.
Yeah, right now I platoon. I have the flashback Grandal, and then I use Carlton Fisk mostly as a defensive replacement because he's got 90 blocking. But
is that the 85 Fisk or the higher one?
It's the 86. Yeah, so he's rated an 86 also. And I struggle hitting. I do not hit well with him. I think it's because he's got one of those stances where like the leaning closed into the plate. Yeah, so that's so I usually, but I also like Grandal sometimes off the bench because he can bad against either side, really.
In the chat, MLB The Show Tips corrected me. It's the Padres flashback against Monty Grandal.
Yeah.
But that flashback Matt Kemp, also not bad, even though he's only an 82.
I like that 90 blocking, though, because of low curveball or something. I don't want to get by him.
A couple other things. Last week I mentioned Phil Hughes as a reliever. Now he got switched back to a starting pitcher. Stephen Wright, who might start the All-Star game for the AL, got a +4 to his overall, making him an 82.
And you can get him for under 400 right now. I would jump on that because if he keeps pitching the way he is, he's going to get boosted up to a gold, and he will be this year's Dickey.
Yeah, 75-mile-per-hour knuckleball with an 84-mile-per-hour fastball and a 68-mile-per-hour curveball. That's kind of that's going to be tough to hit. He was also good last year. I liked him when everybody was talking about what's his name? I know Tips knows his name. Who's the guy everybody wanted last year? And I was like, why don't you just get Stephen Wright because he's better?
Oh, Eddie Gamboa.
Yeah. Anybody else we want to mention in this roster update? The final boss gets a +5 update for the Cardinals. Nomar Mazara gets another point.
Yeah, not so much on the roster update. Just a question from the chat real quick. Jacob says, is Roberto Ozuna a good closer? I just wanted to say, yes, he absolutely is. You can get him for under 2,000 right now. He's still in that 85 gold cusp. 90 hits over 9, 85 clutch, and 98 control on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball is pretty amazing. And he's above 80 on all break, and his two-seamer is a 92 break with 84 control. Absolutely a guy that I would put in, even with a negative IE boost. Let's forget about that for the time being. But if you're looking for a closer for under 2,000, I would absolutely go get him.
And Jacko also asks if Freddie Freeman will get a boost to gold. He's hitting 279, which isn't bad. He's putting up the same kind of stats as last year, but his slugging is a little higher. Already 12 home runs on the season, and he had 18 the last 2 years. So he's probably gonna do better in home runs this year. I mean, he'll probably get a gold in the next couple weeks. What's he down to, like an 83 now? But with his IE boost, he's usually like a 90, right?
Usually up 91, 92, it seems like almost every day. Not today.
Yeah, so even though he's not a gold, he plays like one, so...
And not to give away any trade secrets, while you're on Baseball Reference, go ahead and hit game log real quick. And then when you do that, click on one of the stat boxes from the most recent games and drag it across the game log.
What?
It'll actually show you his totals from whatever set of games you want to look at. That's a great way going back like the last 30 days, or like
since June 1st, he's hitting
games.
358.
There you go. So you can actually look. It'll pull up the totals like that. Great way to look for guys that might get boosted.
He's literally killing the ball right now.
Yeah. So absolutely, if you have a hunch that a guy might be hot, that's a perfect way to look at it.
700 slug and a 1139 OPS since the beginning of June. So what are we waiting for? Why doesn't he have an update?
I just think they're slow on the trigger for a lot of updates.
Brian, are there any Mariners that you think should have an update that haven't had one yet?
Well, Dae-Ho Lee is the obvious one to me. I mean, he's hitting home run now every 11 at bats, which would lead the league if he had a few more plate appearances. And he's batting damn near 300.
Yep,
and
right now.
Yeah, and so he's hasn't been touched all year long. And so, as with any rookie, really, they come in and they put him at a lower kind of level and then wait for them to prove themselves. And I think he's done it by this point. So I'm stocking up on Dae-Ho Lee cards. I can buy them for like 35 stubs. And at some point, he's going to get a big power boost. What I did notice is in the last few weeks, he's gotten more inside edge boosts. Like at the beginning of the year, he pretty much got nothing. The other day I looked and he was like plus 20 in the power categories. So it's like maybe they're starting to recognize that. It's just a matter of time. So he's the one that really stands out to me on the Mariners because it's just overdue.
Yeah, since June 1st, he's hitting 326 with 3 home runs and 11 RBIs.
Yeah.
And 900 on base plus slugging. Doesn't walk enough. Would probably be his only knock.
Yeah, and he platoons some with Adams. So I mean, like all day at bats, and I'm sure that's part of why. they're a little behind on him, but he'll start against lefties and then he'll occasionally play against righties too, or he'll come off the bench and he's hit some big pinch hit home runs and everything this year. So it's kind of exciting to see what happens with him coming up.
Yep, and all right. We'll talk about Iwakuma more when we get into the main beef of this show. Just want to check out the... Not on the right screen at all. I just want to check out the Captain Store real quick. I've been hearing good things. I haven't really looked. Michael Brantley for 950 tickets is the Donaldson Captain Store rank 30 guy. If you don't have Michael Brantley and you have stubs just sitting around, I'd probably just say get him. Michael Brantley's a beast. And I think he's hurt for even longer than they originally suspected.
Ironically, that's a good thing, right?
Yeah, so his card's not going to be going down. He's usually on IE boosts. He's an 87 overall now, but he's usually in like the 92, 94 range.
Why do injured guys or suspended guys still get inside edge?
That I don't understand, and I probably never will.
Because the way the system, right? Yeah, the way the system works, it works on the team. You'll notice that even though the injured guys are still a part of the team, so they can't take them out of the pool.
Yeah, if you look at some of the inside edge stuff, it's like real weird. It's like pitchers with the same mix as Aroldis Chapman have been pitching bad today. But it's like, yeah, but nobody throws 104 miles an hour. So nobody really has the same mix as Aroldis Chapman. But he'll get a negative hit for that.
I like inside edge a lot. But yeah, there's definitely ways they hopefully will improve on that for next year.
Actually, I think this is a really good week for the Captain Store. If you have tickets just lying around and they're kind of burning a hole in your pocket.
Mookie Betts.
Love Mookie Betts. He's got right field, left field, center field, and second base eligibility. I've actually played him at center and second the majority of the time. So he's worth picking up. Francisco Lindor is good. Roberto Osuna, as we mentioned earlier, is pretty good. They're both in the Altuve store. Chris Bryant, monster. What store is this? In the Rizzo store. He's got left field, center field, right field, and third base eligibility. I miss that he's not the primary position as third base. But it's all right. And he can actually play in the outfield pretty good. Who else we got here? Corey Seager, who I love. And Carlos Correa, who I kind of love. Are in the Hosmer store. And John Lester in the David Ortiz store. So, I mean, other than John Lester, I would probably say you're pretty safe if you want to spend the tickets on any of those guys. Though I worry that since all these things are good guys right now, that like they're trying to trick you into spending the tickets now.
And drop a bomb next week.
Next week's diamonds. I'm just saying.
Clayton Kershaw in the Anthony Rizzo store.
Like I'd be mad, even though I got Rizzo, who's a beast.
MLB Show Tips is a good tip there that Betts has a huge upgrade potential. So he may not be 90 for long. That might be your pick if you want to think about going for a diamond. He's playing MVP caliber play right now. So, and just to do a quick shout out for MLB The Show _tips, because I always forget the underscore. On the Wednesdays or Thursdays before the roster update, he puts out a video every week for possible upgrades if you guys are into flipping cards.
Yep. And so now we're going to hop over to the meat of this week's show. What we're going to be talking about tonight is the AL West. I'm talking about doing franchises with these teams that exist out there on the West Coast where Brian lives. We've got...
That's right.
Chris has loaded up the... What is it? Which roster is this?
This is the OSFM draft roster. And actually, you know what? I'm going to back out real quick and just show you guys where it is, because we've had some people with some questions about it. You go to the community roster vault and browse rosters. There are a bunch of different versions up right now, but what you're looking for is... It'll say OSFM. Okay, so right here, there's a 40-man draft version by Steve Marshall 2. That's the 40-man version of the roster. And then the other one is, and I'm just hitting R1 to go to the next page, it will be OSFM draft. Let's see here. It'll be by Ryden Down Kingsley. You see a bunch of him on here is one of the top downloaders. See if I can find it. It'd be hilarious if I couldn't find it. On here, OSFM draft roster. There you go. It was uploaded June 11th, Saturday. Currently at 24 downloads. Again, riding down with Kingsley. So
That's
the
really nice if they
roster
put in like a search functionality.
for like the name, wouldn't it be though? It'd be
Yeah.
amazing. Oh, that's not the one I want to load.
You're showing me a screen that I'm not allowed to see.
Nope. No, you can see it.
What are you doing? Are you getting into a game? Because you just
Loaded the wrong game.
Well played, sir. Well played.
No. Give me 1 second, guys. This is what happens during live video, unfortunately.
We're doing it live.
Oh, yeah, great.
You can hear my sweet keyboard looking up Marco Estrada stats. Did you know I'm I'm like 11 months older than Marco Estrada?
Of Marco Estrada? Oh, I think Jocko was asking about him for upgrade potential.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at that while you're doing whatever it is you're doing.
Yeah, backing out and actually getting to the correct save file.
I mean, Marco Estrada's got a 2.58 ERA, so I'm assuming whatever he's at now should probably go down a little bit.
All right, so here we go. We are currently at the Angels screen. So the Anaheim Angels in this game, we're going to do is go to the budget screen first, which is on your front page, upper right. You'll notice that the Angels have a $174 million total budget for 2016. So we're going to call that the starting budget, obviously, and their total payroll is $163.74 million, which gives them around $10 million to work with. You hit R1 and you go to future budget. This is a key screen for franchise this year. This is new. You can actually sort their salaries and what they're going to have. You can sort by any one of the columns just like you can in the regular screen. And the first major thing that I want to show here is one Albert Pujols.
It's a problem. That's a lot of problem right there.
Good luck.
Yeah. So 36 years old, and he's got a 6-year deal that starts at $21 million and just continues to rise. The lucky thing about this is it's the Angels, so you have under $175 million to work with. But the problem is when you take a chunk of that, 1/7 of that is always going to be Albert Pujols. Unless he retires, you have just essentially dead money because he essentially at 36 starts going downhill right when you start. So
send him to the minors. Maybe he'll go lucky. He'll leave.
Yeah.
But since you're probably not going to re-sign Weaver and Wilson, and probably not Street, I mean, you're going to free up a lot of money anyway.
Well, and that was the next thing is that if you don't re-sign Jared Weaver, C.J. Wilson, Houston Street, Yunel Escobar, Giovanni Soto, and Joe Smith, if you do all of those contracts and just let them walk, you save yourself about $60 million in your second year.
And then you go get a Bryce Harper in 2018.
Yeah, you can, no, because Bryce Harper, I think, asks for like $30 million at some point. So,
okay.
So that money-wise, that's what you're looking at. You can go here and what you want to sort. It'll show you who's renewable, who's arbitration eligible if you keep scrolling. So good screen to be able to plan your future out. And the next screen we'll go to is the team screen and look at, we're going to sort by potential to see prospects. So, Brian, for the Angels themselves, if you had to build around somebody besides Mike Trout,
who's this Mike?
That's going to be from the big obvious one, yeah. What would you do? What are you looking for to build a franchise around?
Boy,
Maybe
that's
not
a good
specifics.
question. That's a good question. I think you probably want a top of the line starter, right? And then for me, I want a bullpen.
Okay. So going off of that, and I fully agree with that, you're going to have Garrett Richards to start as an 83 B potential at 27.
Beast.
We've talked about Garrett Richards before. Yeah, definitely with this. He's got great stuff. The other part of this is that you have him under control for 2 more years after the first year due to arbitration. The other guy that you want to keep an eye on is Andrew Heaney, who's injured this year. But the problem is I think he's a free agent after this year in this roster. So one of those guys you want to try to re-sign if you can in the first 5 days after the World Series.
Yeah, because they'll probably be cheap when you can do that.
Yeah. And the other part is Tyler Skaggs, another great guy that's going to build into a low 80s guy for you at some point.
Yeah, IRL. He's supposed to be arbitration eligible till 2018.
Their farm system is not looking too hot, right?
Yeah, they don't have a lot here. Let me go back to the all real quick.
Yeah,
So
they gave up a lot when they got Simmons. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Simmons, you've got some youth in, like I said, Skaggs, Richards, and Heaney. Cole Calhoun's probably going to play right field for you for the next 5 years. They do have a couple of guys in the system, but they're 2 to 3 years away. Like G-Man Choi, Matt Theis. There was another catching prospect. Oh, Taylor Ward. Taylor Ward is actually a high C potential. He's a 79 potential. So, but they're all guys that are a little further away than you really want in terms of prospects. So
yeah. So I mean, combined with the drag of Pujols' contract and everything, it's a tough situation. I think the Angels might be one of the toughest in the division, at least.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're not going to win the first year, which you probably could get to the playoffs based on Trout alone, Trout and the current starters. And their bullpen's not bad. Joe Smith, Cam Bedrosian, Fernando Salas, and Mike Morin, all good relievers that you can use. Plus, Houston Street's a great closer. And you could call up Javi Guerra if you really wanted to. The other part that I see in terms of prospects, I talked about Choi, Theis, and Ward. Oh, trade bait. If you start going south in your franchise with the Angels, look to trade, first of all, Houston Street, because the CPU values the closing pitcher. And then your next step is Joe Smith. I don't think you're going to be able to trade any of the larger contracts from your starting lineup. So Joe Smith might be your next ability to get some of that money, because you're going to lose him next year anyway. Some of that money back and get some prospects for that. Rebuild the farm system that TJ said you lost for Andrelton Simmons.
Yeah, and one thing that kind of sucks is with the max of a 3-for-1 trade, you couldn't do some blockbuster trade Mike Trout for a bunch of guys, just because they just don't give you the power to do that this year.
Agreed.
Because there have been talks about him going to teams for like essentially entire minor league systems.
That's like a fantasy, though, right?
You never know.
Depends. I guess it really depends on how upset he gets with the Angels. I mean, if they're not winning, he's obviously going to want to win at some point. So, and just a heads up, if you're looking for prospects to pick up, you want to look for left field, third base after the first year, because you're not going to be able to sign Yunel Escobar back, and and as Brian said, your bullpen, you're going to have to rebuild this bullpen after you lose probably Salas and Smith after the first year.
But at least you got Bedrosian and Morin for a while, so you have some pieces.
Yes, absolutely. And Corey Rasmus, Jose Alvarez, both guys in their low 70s, their potential will actually build them back up to the mid 70s, I believe. So some guys, you're probably going to need that stopping piece, and you're also going to need probably a closer, because Javi Guerra's not going to go up much higher being 30 years old.
Yeah.
So
good luck with the Angels is essentially what we're saying.
Yeah, it's win now with the Angels, or get ready to rebuild in about 3 years.
They're almost like falling in between. Like, you can't really go strong either way. It's going to be difficult to do either one.
Yeah, I mean, you can get lucky and Pujols has a good season, and then maybe someone will take him, but probably not.
Yeah. Well, that's a problem. No one's going to take him, because even if he has a good season, he's making 20. He's up in the upper to mid 20s,
and he's too old.
Yeah, and the CPU recognizes those contracts.
So you're gonna have to take on someone else's garbage contract, which is also not good.
Right. So,
maybe
or get absolutely lucky. Yeah.
You can get Justin Upton.
I mean, you're looking at a guy who's 27, and the Tigers aren't probably going to let him go, because he's still got decent potential. So it's going to be tough. You're pretty much going to sit on that Pujols contract for a while as an Angels fan.
So just hope he retires.
That's exactly what it is. If he retires, you get out of the money. So hope he retires because I've checked, he does go downhill after the first season.
All right, what's the next team we're looking at?
So what brings us to the exact opposite problem, the Oakland Athletics.
They're too good, some would say.
Yeah, really too good, except for that budget. So that budget starts at $104 million.
Moneyball.
Yeah, and then so they're already using 93 of that. And looking at the future budget, the other part of this is so Coco Crisp is on a really bad deal, but it's ending. So that's a good sign. The bad sign is Billy Butler still has an extra year on his. You might be able to get rid of Billy Butler, but again, the CPU is going to recognize that $10 million and Butler's not performing. So,
I mean, decent contact numbers. So, I mean, if you're actually playing, you might be okay with them, but
right. So what I was looking at with the Athletics,
you have Doolittle locked up for a little bit, which is nice.
Yeah, you do have Doolittle, which makes Madsen expendable, which is good because there's no reason the A's are going to hold on to a $7.3 million a year reliever. Mm-hmm. Again, you're taking up 7% of your budget on a reliever when you've got Doolittle locked up to a better deal. So I would say go ahead and get rid of Madsen the first year, even if you're doing well. Move Doolittle back into the closer's role. After the first year, you can get rid of Crisp, Rich Hill, Josh Reddick, and John Axford, and you save yourself $20 million. Again, doesn't sound like a lot to the Angels, but to the Athletics, you can build an entire team around that.
Yeah.
So,
and in that stadium, I would definitely say you want to try to build pitching and some fast outfield, because the outfield at what is it, O.co? Is it still O.co? Is pretty big.
Right. Yep. And then, so Brian, you think what TJ said, pitching, defense on that stadium, looking at what you see, I mean, we know they're not going to win the first year. It's just not going to happen. So any ideas?
Yeah. What you have to like about them, like you went through the bullpen a little bit, but yeah, Sonny Gray is still fantastic. But they've got what I see. There are guys who produce. Now they're not flashy necessarily. Chris Davis maybe to an extent, but these are guys I think you can do well with, better than maybe they would do in a simulation. They're guys who generally I think you're going to be able to make contact with. You're gonna have a good sense of them at the plate, and I kind of like the way they're stacked up, but I don't know enough about like what they got coming in from the minors to help you out there.
I mean, that brings up a great segue, which you have opened up so well for me. They have Sean Manaea already on the Major League roster. He's an A potential 24-year-old, 71 overall, who's got decent ratings. By year 2, he'll already be an 80. If he trains
also loves him. So
yes,
you should get him.
So they're a friend of the show. I agree with the chat. Jocko says Valencia's decent. Valencia's actually very good hitting, not great on defense, and that's going to be something you'll see throughout the Athletics organization. Is defense is obviously not something they coveted this year. This is another interesting prospect for them. Is Franklin Barreto? He's a 64 overall and he's 19. Plays second base, shortstop, and center field. We already know they have Marcus Semien, who might be the worst defensive shortstop in the majors.
True.
So you've got a guy who has decent fielding, and that grows as he comes through. But he also might be a center fielder for you because there's a couple of shortstop prospects in their system. Barreto, Richie Martin, and Marcus Semien. But if you're trying to win with the A's, you really want to build around, as Brian said, or TJ said, Sonny Gray, Chris Davis in the corner outfield positions, Stephen Vogt, who you actually have locked up as a 31-year-old.
Yeah, he's got arbitration for a couple of years from what I saw.
Yeah, he's got 3 more arbitration years. So that's the one nice thing about the Athletics is a lot of their younger players they have under control for a while.
What's the rating there for AJ Puck? Starting
pitcher. Yes. He is a 62 overall right now. He's 20 and a B potential.
Already 92 velocity. Golden.
Yes. So he is definitely going to be one of those prospects. Canha is not a prospect, but he is somebody that's going to be very good for you and can play first base as well.
Oh, he can, huh?
Yeah, he's got first base potential. Hits well against righties. The other guys you want to look for, no, we already talked about Breto and Manea. And we talked about trading. You're going to trade Madsen. Probably going to trade Rich Hill, being that he's 36. He'll go to a contending team to help them out. And the other one you want to look at trading that I've gotten good packages back for is Jed Lowry, who is gone. He has one more year in his deal at $7.6 million, but again, not somebody that I think is worth $7 million to the A's.
Right.
And you can get a couple good prospects for him, possibly a couple B prospects.
Excellent. Love it. Trade Jed Lowry out of there. Because you got a switch hitter who can play a bunch of defensive positions. There are teams that want that.
Especially teams making up like a playoff run now.
You all right, buddy?
Is everyone okay?
I'm good.
I just saw the controller just go flying all around the screen.
And just last but not least, holes is going to be defense, first base, and money in general for them.
Yeah, you really have to be efficient in finding your players there, huh?
Yeah, as you said, Moneyball is essential. You have to find guys that are going to be high contact, high vision, and just sim well if you sim any of your season.
Yeah.
But then that brings us to the Seattle Mariners.
Never heard of them.
That's what I want. I want to go ahead. I'm going to turn this over to you, Brian, because they're 159 million budget. I'll give you that. They're at 100. They're using about 150 of that, so you have about 10 million to play with. Mm-hmm. And here are the deals. Go for. I'll let it wait for it to come up on the screen for a second for you. Mostly, you're looking at Hernandez's deal, Cano's deal, Cruz's deal, and Seager's deal.
Right.
So that's where most of your money's spent. Go ahead.
So this is the concern with the Mariners. I mean, what you're looking at there, those four guys are all getting up there in age, especially Felix, Cruz, Cano. Cruz 35, Cano 33. I mean, then you've got other guys, Iwakuma 34, Benoit 38. So you're going to have to replenish within a few seasons. You're going to have to start to replenish. Those guys are going to tail off, and they're still going to be getting paid pretty well. So there's some good pieces, I think, in the minors, but yeah, this is probably a win now or win within the next year or two type team, in my opinion.
Absolutely agree. I talked about this beforehand, when I first saw the rosters. Seattle is absolutely, if you're not in a pennant race by the trade deadline, you really got to start making some hard decisions on guys like Cano, or Nelson Cruz, who, even though he's 35 and Cano's 33, those 8 potentials that you see on the screen right now, they're going to fight off some of the decline. Mm-hmm. Same thing with Iwakuma, but it's not going to be long. So if you might take a second run for a second year, but if you go to the second year, you're taking a huge risk of these guys declining and you losing value in your trades for them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you go back to the other screen where it shows the roster year by year, or the budget year by year?
Yeah, there you go.
Wow, I did not realize they gave Nelson Cruz a deal like that. Yeah, I'd probably say
he has lived up to it, though. He's actually been better.
He's absolutely hit, yeah.
Most people thought he would do so.
Yeah,
and that's the thing, is
still
that
a lot of money.
The way he's rated in the game, I mean, he's got 90s in contact versus lefties, 90s in power versus righties. I've watched him in game on a couple different sims that I've had. He doesn't decline that much the first year because he performs.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and normally they take him out of right field. They'll normally DH him because his fatigue has something to do with progression as well. Mm-hmm. So let me go back to the roster screen, because I do want to talk about the guys that Brian talked about. There is youth in this organization that can be used. Some of the prospects, and Brian, you can talk about them as I bring them up. Mike Zunino.
Zunino. Yeah, he is a really good power guy. I mean, he really struggled to hit for average last season. He's been in the minors and actually tearing it up. They don't want to bring him up again yet, but he is hitting a lot of home runs down there. And I mean, that's all he could do basically last season was hit home runs. He either hit a home run or he was out. So, but yeah, definitely intriguing. I mean, I think at some point he'll be back up this year, maybe.
And the really cool thing I like about him is the 81 blocking and the 78 arm strength. You're absolutely right with the power. You can see the 67, 53 power splits, but he's good. He's good enough defensively to play.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, TJ.
Yeah, I used him in a franchise 2 years ago now, probably.
Yeah, he had a great season 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I loved him then. I think I traded Montero and someone else just to get them out of here so he could play. What's the deal with who's the lefty starter? Has he got decent ratings?
Talking about Paxton?
Paxton.
Yes. Yep. 27 decent ratings, B potential. That's not bad.
Yeah, he's had his struggles. He's had his struggles, but he started to turn it around a little bit, I think. So, but yeah, he's a fun guy to use in this game. Actually, I really like using him.
Who is this guy?
This is the other big pitching prospect for them. He's
Gohara
probably,
or Go Home. Is that his name?
Yeah, Luis Gohara he's 19, which is cool. So he's 60, so he's probably a year away. But you see that 83 velocity that he has? That's going to play pretty early for you guys. I think you could probably see him in game 2017, late 2017, maybe 2018. So maybe a guy that would help a playoff run the second year. Also, Nate Carnes, Wade Miley, both guys are mid-70s and progress on those numbers. So rotation-wise, again, Hernandez is going back down. Iwakuma I've seen go back and forth depending on performance. But you've got a really solid rotation that you could possibly take into year 2 with you. Couple that with the fact you've got Ryan Cook, Nick Vincent, Charlie Furbush, guys like that that can really help your bullpen. Yeah, the bullpen's really good, I think. So
everybody else
and
Furbush.
I don't know where they are at in there, if they're even in there, but like Edwin Diaz, who just came up, I mean, he was throwing smoke, 100 miles an hour. He looks like a potential closer in the years ahead. I don't know if they've added him to the game yet because he just came up a couple weeks ago, but he's an intriguing guy to look at also.
That's funny you mentioned that because in this roster, he is actually in this roster with an 88 velocity, 73 break with a riding fastball slider circle change.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 66 overall, but if you look at his ratings, he's already at a 59 stamina, which is great for a relief pitcher. 61 hits over 9, 60K over 9, 66 home run over 9. He could possibly be like the last man or second to last man in your bullpen. So I absolutely a guy that could help you out again year 2.
Yeah, he's pitched. What's he pitched? 7 innings or something so far, 7 2/3. 12 strikeouts per 9 innings over that. So let's see, 2.35 ERA. He's looked really good. I think they're going to have to up the velocity and whatever ratings they put out because I don't know if they were ready for him to come up and throw 100 consistently like he's been doing.
Yeah, I just looked. He's not in the main game.
Yeah.
Not yet.
No, these were rated by the OSFM creators. Remember the 88 velocity is also an average of his pitches, so he might actually have that huge number. The other guys. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say he did. They did talk about him potentially as being a starter also, but I think right now he looks more promising as a potential closer down the line.
Absolutely.
That would explain his stamina, by the way. Yeah.
Well, yeah, the 59 stamina, and that might explain his, because a lot of guys, I think Britton was one of those guys. Tommy Hunter, I think, is famous for it, coming out and being able to throw 96 when he threw 91 as a starter. So, absolutely, maybe that should be something that they add into the game as well. If you take a starter to a reliever, he can up his velocity a little bit. I'd like to see something like that.
Yeah, and you have good pieces on the infield that you can build around too with Seager and Cano. Who's their shortstop?
Ketel Marte.
Oh, yes.
Marte's great,
He's
by the way.
very good, yeah.
Well, and the really cool thing is, so looking at prospects, the prospects that are in this game, in this roster, open up some trade possibilities for some of the guys already in the game. DJ Peterson's a first base prospect who can already hit. So that makes Lind expendable if you want to trade him the first year. And with Lind's contact numbers, the CPU understands that. You might actually get some decent trade prospects for Lind. The other guys you want to look at when you're talking about prospects are, let's see, there's 2 right fielders in the system, Kyle Lewis and Alex Jackson. Both brand new. Both a couple of years away. I think Lewis they were both the draft picks, right?
Yeah, Lewis was this year. He was number 11 pick. He just started Double-A like 10 minutes down the road from me, so I'm gonna have to go check him out later this summer.
Yep, rated a 62 overall, already has 67 speed and 70 vision, so that'll be probably a year 2 guy for you. And the other one I really wanted to highlight was, let's see, there's a starting pitcher by the name of Adrian Sampson, who
he just started. He just started for the Mariners the other day, actually.
There you go. 96 break on his slider, 85 velocity. He's only a 3-pitch guy, 71 overall, but definitely a guy that could possibly help you later in the first year. So what's one of the things I like about this roster, like you said, Kyle Lewis being just a draft pick, you have that guy in your system already. It's just kind of cool to be able to see that.
Yeah. I actually pitched good with Hultzen whenever I did that Mariners run.
Danny Hultzen. There it is.
They had a lot of lefties, from what I remember.
Yeah, they did.
So, which brings us to might be the best team in MLB The Show to build a franchise.
Oh, boy.
Texas Rangers.
Monster.
$207 million total budget.
That's a lot.
Which is, they're using 196 of already.
Where's that going?
You want to know, because it's going to get. They have the same problem times 2 that the Angels have.
Or are they still paying A-Rod or what?
No, they've got Josh Hamilton and on a $25 million a year deal. Now he's going to play for you the first year, and he might not actually. He could probably get some bats for you. But the problem is he's running out of places to play because Shin-Soo Choo is your right fielder, and Mazzara is going to bash
right into their corner. Yeah,
right. So you could probably use Hamilton as possibly a DH, maybe. But then you've got Prince Fielder, who's on a 5-year deal that starts at 20.8 and ends at 25.3. So again, you're running into these huge deals with Beltre. Andrews has got a decent deal working, but Andrews is worth that money, I think, for Texas. Yu Darvish has a deal. Cole Hamels has a $25 million deal for the next 4 years.
That's a lot of money tied up into a few guys.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about this is Beltre at 37 doesn't really diminish too much if he plays well. It's amazing to me. Like, you see a little bit, but his ratings are already so high for his defense and his contact that by year 2, he's still able to play. Odor, who's an 88 overall already, is just getting into his first renewable year. Mazzara is an 83 overall, an A potential, 65-76 contact and power versus righties, and he's renewable through so many years. Like, he just came into, so you're going to start seeing him renewable for the next 3 years, and then arbitration eligible the next 3 years after that. So you have him under control for an 83 with an A potential. That's amazing. You've got Desmond already on your roster, Sam Dyson. So they have all these guys. Jurickson Profar, we haven't even talked about, 80 overall, who's got 3 arbitration years coming up. So just, and then
there's a
the
lot
money
you can do with this team. You can win now. You could go to win now. You could try to move a couple guys, and then you're going to open the window up even longer. But you have a shot to win now with this team. They're currently Bleacher Report's number 2 team in power rankings.
They're only a couple games behind the Cubs' pace at this point.
Yep.
And the other thing is, so you've got a guy, maybe you heard of him, Joey Gallo.
Yeah.
Used to be the number 1 prospect in baseball at one point. Huge power numbers. His contact isn't where it needs to be. but he's an A potential at 74 overall already. He's going to be close to an 80 by the end of the first year.
What interesting.
And he has. Yeah.
I was going to say, I just look at him. I just pulled up his profile, and almost everything on him is cold zone, though. Like,
yes.
Is that just typical of only power guy that he'd have no real hot zones?
Well, for him, one of his biggest knocks is he doesn't make constant contact. He's essentially like right-handed or left-handed Chris Davis at third base. So low vision, kind of lowish contact.
That's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Hey, you got Kyle Loesch, though, if you need.
Yeah, so you got Kyle Loesch that can help you I think he's hurt, so that's why he's in single A. But you've got other guys on this team. I mean, they've got an A potential center fielder named Lewis Brinson who could play second year, and a potential starting pitcher, Dylan Tate, that can play the second year. Look at all the Bs just littered in this that are already close. Jared Hoying, who is already in the majors. Alex Claudio, Ian Desmond, we talked about. Chichi Gonzalez is, yeah. I mean, they've got so many pieces. Diekman is a favorite of this show as poor man's Chris Sale. He plays in the game as well. Keon Keela, who's actually injured right now, but in the A-level ball for you. Martin Perez is an 80 overall already at 25.
AJ Griffin, the nastiest deuce in the game.
Yep.
What about this?
Shields Jr.?
What about this Davis Silva? Know anything about him? He's in as a top 50 prospect. Looks like a closer. A potential.
I'm not seeing him for some reason. Hold on a second.
He's in the base roster. I don't know what that means for yours, but double A closer, 65 rating.
I don't have him on this roster.
Of course, this could be a fake name, by the way.
Possibly, yeah.
I don't know who he corresponds to.
Yeah, well, what they do is they actually completely re-rate everybody and actually switch teams for a lot of guys to get the potentials where they want them to go, and to get like service time correct. So it's very possible that like they don't just change the names; they actually change ratings based on minor league numbers. So.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't touch for this roster specifically. They don't touch any of the guys that were created by SCEA, but
Gotcha.
they have like a army of guys that know their teams. So,
all right.
So the guys that you want to kind of look at for prospects, we talked about it: Gallo, Tate, Brinson, Chichi Gonzalez. Trade bait. Honestly, I'd trade Gallo. It sounds crazy.
Contact's too low, and you could probably get something huge for him.
Right, and you've got Jurickson Profar. One of the big things about Profar in this game is he has eligibility at all infield positions. He doesn't have the eligibility in the outfield because this roster was created right before he started playing the outfield for Texas. But he can play third base for you while you've got Andrews at shortstop and Odor at second base. And Beltre's there too. So Gallo is a piece that you can actually get a big name major leaguer back for because it was a potential. I hate to say that because I hate trading away a potential guys in franchise mode. But the other guy you want to look to trade away is Derek Holland. Again, because he's kind of with all the pitching prospects that they have. There are guys. I mean. Just count them down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, they've got 10 guys that be potential, not including Colby Lewis and Kyle Loesch. So 6 guys that be potential or higher. Holland is pretty much, you can get rid of him if you need to.
That makes me sick. I'm tired of hearing about the Rangers bringing up some top prospect it seems like it's every month. And then they come up and just excel. I'm sick of it.
I think TJ put it best. They're the AL Cubs.
Yeah.
The only hole they have is offense at catcher, and Chirinos is one of the best defensive catchers in the game. So we will do this so you don't have to worry about them. We can worry about another team in your division that you're probably very happy at the performance right now. That would be the Houston Astros.
Leading the vote for tonight's game of the week.
They're still a fun team. I mean, because all they do is hit home runs, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
They
it's
also have
either
a lot of speed. They have some nice defense. They're a
Hasn't
very
really
well-rounded team.
led to production this year, but yeah, I mean, they're an exciting team for sure.
well, they're another
young.
team with. Yeah, though that's the thing is they're so young and they've got prospects at the positions they're already young in. So, and we'll get to that in a second. So, $123 million budget. On the low side when it comes to those kind of teams, using 112 of it, so $10 million to play around with. Future budget, they really don't
drops off a cliff. But so the only thing that sucks with this is you're gonna have to be working that 2016 offseason to rebuild your team because you're gonna have a lot of free agents that you're gonna need to resign.
Right. And well, the cool thing about this though is, so I just sorted by overall just to see, what they have holding on to. Altuve signed through 2017. You might as well just kiss him goodbye. You're not going to re-sign him at $123 million budget. Correa, you have under control for 5 years or for 6 years, including 2016. He's renewable 2 years, and then he'll go to arbitration, so you have to up his pay then. Keuchel, even though he's not great in real life, still an 89 overall in the game. You have him for 2 more years of arbitration. I mean, you have a lot of your top guys, with the exception of Carlos Gomez, under control because they're young.
Yeah, Gregerson. You have Gregerson for another year, but then you have Will Harris who can step into that role. He's arbitration eligible for 3 years after this. So there's a lot you can do.
You've got Giles.
A beast.
Yeah,
he's supposed to be the heir apparent, right? But
but he hasn't performed in real life, so
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, just looking at the starting pitching, I mean, Keuchel, Fister, who you'll leave after the first year, McCullers, McHugh, Fears, Peacock, Musgrove, and Martez. All those guys.
Fister, the poor man's Corey Kluber.
Yes, that's what I call him. And then he got rocked by. No, actually, the bullpen got rocked by you last week. I'm good with that.
So what's the missing ingredient with this team? Because I don't really understand why they're not better.
Contact. I honestly believe it's contact. It's funny because they get rid of Chris Carter and then the whole team becomes Chris Carter.
Well, they had a lot of older method swingers, like Carlos Gomez is playing awful. Which, I mean, if you watch Carlos Gomez at the beginning of his career, you kind of knew that awful was going to happen again, even though he came out for a couple good seasons. George Springer's good, but I think he's another high strikeout guy. Just they have too many all or nothing guys. Evan Gaddis.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, when you're trying to get Evan Gaddis to catch again for you, you know there's a problem.
Yeah.
So they do have, like I said, a lot of young prospects. They've got a second baseman by the name of Tony Kemp, who I think we're starting to see in real life now. He's an A prospect at second base. He will be your heir apparent to Altuve. It makes Altuve leaving a lot easier. There's a shortstop prospect who you might have to deal because he doesn't play anything but, let me see if I just lost it. He doesn't play anything but shortstops. His name's Alex Bregman. Already a 69 at A potential and 22. So, but Correa is 21. So you've got yourself a choice there. They're under control for the same amount of time. You're probably going to end up trading Bregman at some point for some kind of hefty haul. The other ones are, there's a center fielder by the name of Daz Cameron, who is only 19, but already a 61 B potential. And a first baseman. They've got a couple first base guys. Tyler White, obviously, already on the roster. But they've also got guys named A.J. Reed and John Singleton, who are similar in terms of hitting. But A.J. Reed has a higher vision. So you might want to look into, I think Singleton's already has some Major League service time as well. Oh, there you go. Xander says in the chat, in real life, Bregman is supposedly going to third base. So if that's something...
Can you go in there and edit his position or no?
You can,
right? Yeah, so maybe that's something.
What I normally do, my rule is if I do that, if it's like another infield position, I take their attributes down 5% for fielding, like it would actually be, yeah. But yeah, you could put him to third base, edit him, and then, he's right there. He's a 60. He goes to a 67 overall, A potential. So he's already got the fielding when he starts to upgrade. Decent discipline, decent hitting. So maybe not a corner infielder for you right away, but he will upgrade himself up to about a 75 after year one.
Yeah, I was just pulling up the Astros real life stats. Jose Altuve is the only guy hitting over 265,
Mm.
and with an on-base percentage over 355. So they're not getting on base. They're hitting a decent amount of home runs, but they're just not getting on base. Like Castro, their catcher's hitting 207. Rasmus is hitting 226. Gomez is hitting 210. Gaddis is hitting 213. So they're not doing well.
Yeah, but in game, if I were looking to upgrade, I'd probably trade away a guy like Neshek, or either Reed Singleton or Tyler White. And to be honest, you trade Altuve after year one. Unless you're unless you're going to the World Series year two, and you are, you have to start looking at trading him to get something back, because you're not going to re-sign him at $123 million budget. Matter of fact, I think we signed him in the Rockies franchise after year two for the OS stream, and we had to sign him for like $30 million.
Damn, that's a lot for a second baseman, but it's also the best second baseman in the game. So
exactly.
No
and you're going to
offense
lose
to
Carlos
Robinson.
Gomez. Yeah, you're going to lose Carlos Gomez after the first year too. He's going to request like $25 million a year for like 4 or 5 years.
He's not worth it. I mean, he's got decent ratings, but I wouldn't do it.
Yep. I will give the game that. Last year you were able to sign some free agents to some really, really weird deals. This year with the interest bar, you have to be true to the free agents. Like the money comes up a lot.
Yeah, you're gonna have some good pitching for a little bit. So,
I mean, I think the team overall, I think it's a World Series favorite team in this game.
If the contact's there in the game, not in real life, so you're gonna be good.
And the pitching's there. What they're missing in Keuchel, and I think Fisher's been okay for them. But like a guy like Ken Giles, you just said it, in game he's a beast.
Yeah.
So.
Real life, he's got a 5.52 ERA. So not that great. Is that the entire AL West?
That is the entire AL West in a nutshell.
All right. So don't be the Mariners. Be anybody else, and you're good.
I don't know. I'd avoid the Angels.
So if
I'd also avoid the Athletics. I mean,
so if we were gonna power rank this, 5-1. I say Angels is 5, the worst, right?
Yeah.
Athletics.
Yeah, with the Pujols deal, is terrible.
Then you're probably gonna go Athletics. Athletics 4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mariners 3.
I'm gonna go Mariners 3. I think I'm gonna go Astros 2, Rangers 1.
Yep.
That's exactly how I'd rate it. Just because, for the simple fact that the Rangers have $200 million to work with.
Yeah.
They've got 2 bad contracts, but the 2 bad contracts aren't going to affect them because you'll lose Hamilton after year 2 anyway. So,
that's the AL West. For the next couple episodes, we're going to be breaking down each division in the MLB in franchise mode, just like this. I believe next week we're going to do the NL West, and I have no idea who our guest will be. But Pasta, thank you very much for coming on to discuss this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fun.
And tonight's game of the week is going to be PastaPadre versus me, ThatSportsGamer.
Oh, we doing that now?
He's going to be using his Mariners. I'm going to be using the Astros. And we're going to do that once I get out of this share play thing.
All right.
Once I kick you out of the share play thing.
Oh, excellent. We only had 15 minutes left. Okay. How do I get out of this thing? I hate these screens. Let me tell you.
SharePlay is what a great feature, by the way.
Well, that was the one thing we really wanted to. We were hoping the SharePlay could do more than one player, because we've done this a couple times where we've been in each other's screens, like watching and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, what would be awesome is if all 3 of us could see the same screen that I was scrolling through without the delay. Would be really cool.
Yeah.
It's good for one.
Think
it
about
only
the
works with one person,
spectate.
but yeah. I wish. What if we did share play and then I shared to him over Skype video? Maybe is that a thing? That would
yeah,
yeah,
you
give me
can
that.
video chat.
that would be like literally the worst way to do it. How do I even send a friend an invite? Just go to the friends list and find them.
Yeah, you would have to go to. So you want to go to.
Got him.
Yep,
Got him.
there you go.
Stats tracked, all star. Guest pitch default off.
Leave it off. Yeah.
Quick
So,
count
guys in
zero.
the chat, go ahead. I'm going to keep monitoring the chat room. I'm going to be answering questions for anybody having any questions at all about franchising for the AL West or Diamond Dynasty or not buying stubs because we don't do that here.
I don't understand how you would buy stubs and get them to someone else.
I mean, I know a way, but I'm not going to get into that because it's terrible and against the SCA toss, and we don't do that.
Can you teach me?
No.
All right, folks. So we're getting into the game of the week right now. PastaPadre's Mariners against me and the Astros. I'm going to be the home team only because people want to see me play at Minute Maid Park. I want to try to hit a ball up.
Open or closed? Open or closed?
It's a great question. I'm going to let Millennium pick that one.
I want open just because I love the fact that you can do it this year. It's so gorgeous seeing the sunlight, and I think you picked it out before when Owen released, Brian, that when it was raining, when you did raining and it was closed, it didn't show it. But they fixed that in a patch. So,
did you send a challenge?
I did.
I don't have any challenges.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive. Game challenges. No challenges. I click on it. No challenges at this time.
100% TJ sent to the wrong person.
Oh, unless there's another PastaPadre.
The Linguini. Hold on.
As Linguini Lothario?
That's the one, yeah.
I hope not.
Oh, no. We have tried every alliteration of your name known to man. It's amazing. The Sealy Father, yes.
Counts off.
Oh, no, it was Fettuccine Father, remember?
At literally any F.
Oh, there we go. Now I got a challenge. All right.
Check those things because I wasn't really paying attention to make sure they were right.
Okay, let's see. Exhibition.
Charles Verlander, when you say complete, I would say anything. The OSFM draft that I just showed off, the 40-man by Steve Marshall 2 on the first page is the most complete right now because it adds in the first-round draft picks for most of the teams. Jock, the best way to earn stubs is honestly flipping cards.
Yes. I'll tell you what, it's not playing.
Yeah, I mean, playing, you'll get some just by playing if you play enough, but the best way to do it is find, like, you know what the best way to do it is?
I went the way wrong way through this.
Watch MLB The Show Tips' videos on Wednesdays and go pick those guys up and then sell them.
True. Watch them first and then beat everybody to the punch. I'm going with the Rainbow Throwbacks because that's the jersey you wear. I did not see what PastaPadre picked.
I just went with my road alternates, the Blues.
So we're going open. Do you want to pick a time of year and day, Chris?
No. I'll let you guys do it because I'm not going to give you guys sunlight in the background if you don't want it.
Yeah. So we'll go night game. Let's go night
Sure.
game. An April night game with clear skies. Does that sound like
Is that what you tend to do in Diamond Dynasty? I usually go like October 7 p.m.
Yeah, I usually do 7 p.m. just to try to get away from the sun.
It's funny you mentioned that because I pick August 1 p.m. purposely because I don't have a problem seeing the shadows. Like, I consider it almost an advantage. So,
who are we choosing here, TJ?
I think I'm gonna go with Keuchel just because it's Keuchel.
Oh, that's okay. Well, I used Iwakuma last time against you, so I don't want to do that. I'll go with Taiwan Walker. He's my favorite.
Sure. Would you like me to use someone else? I can use a Colin McHugh. Or I can
that sounds good.
Right, yeah, see how it is. You just want me to not use my ace. I got you.
Well, I don't even have an ace at this. Well, Iwakuma's close. But...
Wow, they only have 3 guys on the bench. Interesting.
Shout out to the chat. Seeing some new guys, some new faces. Ace of Bam, Butter Biscuits.
Ace of Bam.
That is.
Where do you see Ace of Bam? Oh, you're in the.
Ace of Bam's in the chat. Yeah, I go in. I look. I know everyone's here. Faithful Nate's here. Lenny Bellins, who was talking earlier.
Ace of Bam's an OG. You just didn't.
Is he? Oh, I didn't know that.
Who's pitching? Taiwan Walker, right-handed pitcher.
Yep.
All right, I guess I'm just kind of going with the default roster. Lego.
I agree with you, by the way, Pasta, that Deholin is a huge upgrade.
Yeah, it's just kind of sad because he's useless. You can't even enjoy him at this point.
Well, and he's essentially the platoon with Lind, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and he's been playing more against righties too, just because he's actually doing well against them. I mean, to start the season, they were hesitant to throw him out there against righties.
And granted, he played in Korea, but he had like 50 home runs the last 5 seasons. Some
323 total.
Like, come on, give him a little credit for it.
While you guys are playing, Jocko says, "What are your World Series predictions now that we're a couple months into the season? Any ideas?"
I think the Braves got it this year.
Lil Will 53 says the Miami Marlins.
No, I mean, if Giancarlo Stanton was playing somewhat well, yes.
Oh, can we talk about the fact that he's still a diamond?
Yes, he should not be. Yeah.
How? He's batting like 190.
193 last time I looked at the roster update anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And he's getting worse by the month. I mean, he was like 130 in May or something like that.
Has he taken a hit at all year?
No, he hasn't moved.
Yeah, it hasn't moved at all. Xander says the Braves are on a 5-game streak. Look out.
They're crushing it.
Oh, yeah, Lil Will, we know. We were just messing around. We know you didn't actually mean the Miami Marlins.
I really like the Cubs. I mean, I don't want to see them get worried. That would be bad.
Is that a thing now? Getting worried?
You saw LeBron come off the plane today in his Ultimate Warrior shirt?
Yes, I did.
And his
I was very happy about that.
And his
Kevin Love had an Austin 316 shirt.
LeBron's Kermit sipping on tea hat too.
I did not see that. That's hilarious.
I feel like none of my pitchers are going where I want them, but so far effective.
So TJ ThatSportsGamer is using looks like Colin McHugh, right?
Yep.
It wasn't Dallas Keuchel because he's not left-handed. So, ooh, and then you picked Walker, right, Brian?
Yep.
Oh, easy.
All right.
So you guys have played a few times. Take your time. TJ, I'll talk to TJ right now. So I know you've played a couple times before.
Wow.
I played this game a couple times, yeah.
No, I mean, you've played Brian a few times. On video, by the way.
Yeah.
What are you typing on the stream?
I dominated most of the time.
What?
I knew that was going to
go. What was it? 6-4?
How'd that World Series go?
How'd that World Series go? Oh. I figured you out.
Oh, you figured me out?
Jeez.
Too late, I guess, though. That's no problem.
It was too late.
TJ, I don't think that's the best place to put that
there's
banner.
There's no real good place to put this thing.
James M 10983 says grinding innings for Gwynn, is he worth it? Yeah, I think so. I think he's one of the best defensive outfielders in the game and one of the best contact hitters. He is kind of
fast too, right?
He's really fast. I think he'd be perfect with like an Ichiro. You could put Gwynn maybe in left and Ichiro in right, or even one of them in center because of the arms.
Can we just talk about how much I love these jerseys?
I do love the jerseys. Can we talk about maybe like a Carl Crawford left field, Ichiro center field, Tony Gwynn right field?
Boy, yeah, that's good.
Until Carl Crawford takes one off his face, it's a great outfield.
Curious. So Brian, you're a big fan of the Ichiro. I know that.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any problems hitting with him? I know a lot of people say they have issues with his motion or something. It's harder for them to hit with him.
No, I think I'm hitting close to 400 with him actually in Diamond Dynasty. Of course, that's the flashback.
Right. That's exactly the one I meant too.
Yeah.
I mean, his live series is a decent card for budget and even offline in franchise if you're looking for like that last off the bench outfielder.
I think the important thing for me with Ichiro, I get something. If just make good contact. I mean, if I get a fastball anywhere over the plate and I time it right, I mean, it's almost definitely going to be a base hit. So, and then also, I like to occasionally do a little drag bunt with him or something.
Oh, you're one of those
But
guys? Bunchies?
No, that's not cheese.
It's not cheese to bunt with Ichiro. He's a 97 speed.
Bunchies.
If you're bunting with David Ortiz to try to get on, then yeah, I'm going to plunk your guy. So it's just going to happen. James SM says he has Harper and Trout. He's looking to possibly add Gwynn because he can't hit well with Harper. My question for you is, who would be your left fielder? Because, I mean, I would try my best to try to hit with Harper and then put Gwynn in left field. Or swap the two, Harper in left and Gwynn in right, because of the defense.
Hell, I mean, Harper at least is going to scare. If you're playing someone online, he's going to scare the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Take a walk or something.
Jay Young in the chat. Eacher is a good guy to use the power swing because his PCI is so big. I think Brian alluded to that earlier.
That's what I was talking to TJ about a little bit, is that I use power swing with him.
Yep.
And that would seem counterintuitive, but yeah, I mean, you get solid contact with him with a power swing. It's getting through the infield.
Listen, Ichiro could hit 45 home runs a year if he really wanted to.
Ooh.
That was the talk. I mean, he lit it up in batting practice. People would go and he put on a show. Boy.
Yep, missed that.
You really wanted to put that one there? I don't think so.
But yeah, I think you're not the first or last person that's going to tell us that, I'm sure. Jay Young said that last week as well. It's just, if you have a guy with a huge PCI, why not use the power? You're going to get better contact with it. So that's a really good idea that I hadn't even thought about until, like I said, you guys started bringing it up.
Yeah, I'll lay. I won't go to the power swing if he strikes on him. In a hitter's count, nothing better than that.
For anyone that doesn't know, PastaPadre, host of the Press Row podcast.
Yeah,
I'm going to bring that up because I'm an avid listener of that. I think we've had that conversation before a couple times.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I used to be on the show, apparently.
Well, let's be honest. You talk terribly, and I think I'm rubbing off on you, so it's just getting worse.
TJ is he's a let's talk about out guy. More than let's talk about pre-release news and stuff, right, TJ? That's more your interest.
Let me tell you about Madden commentators.
Okay.
There's two of them, and they're new guys. It's a great move, actually, by having guys that they can actually get in there to do stuff all the time.
Well, and they released a lot of video today, too. I think probably was the day that the Game Changers released a lot of their stuff that went to EA Play, which is, I mean, kind of cool. I think the first thing I really, not to get too far away from MLB The Show, but the first thing I recognized was the new commentators.
It is. I mean, a lot of people don't think commentary is important to them, but that's kind of how you identify each game. You remember, I remember back to the years when they would change commentators in a series. You remember those things because it ties in with your experiences.
Yeah, and the commentary is good until it's terrible. So,
yeah, and then you just turn it off or get annoyed by it.
Well, and that was one of the things I was impressed about. Is I think it was you and Rich talking about it, Brian, where you were talking about like the Gus Johnson year. Like you could name the years that they were changed because that's the impact they have.
Yeah.
Duke Blue, I've been doing good. I've missed you as well. How have you been doing?
Yes.
I sprained my ankle yesterday, which was great. It was awesome.
I heard about that.
Yeah, I was saving orphans from a burning building.
Or walking your dog?
Yes, that's slightly more manly than walking a Pomeranian and a toy poodle. So that's what I'm telling people. Saving orphans from a burning building. You know what I would like? A solid hit. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's where my question comes in is like, so you guys have played each other a few times. I think the World Series you guys had was it the PRP League that you guys had the World Series in?
Yeah. Cubs and Mariners, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So you guys have a lot of experience with each other, and I think that's something that not a lot of people get online. How does your strategy, like, do you purposely change strategies, or do you just realize that you both know each other well enough to go, listen, I'm going to play my game. If I execute better,
Well,
That's good.
I definitely learn from my mistakes. So I remember from that series, and the first DJ killed me on any fastball I threw low in the zone. So, so from then on out, I was like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. Um, but I think I don't know if you want to get away from your own strengths as a player, no matter who you're playing. I mean, I'd rather lose
Doing what you're good at.
pitching the way I want to pitch than try something I'm not as comfortable with, just because he might kind of know my tendencies. I mean, everybody knows tendencies in baseball. They go out there, they know all your tendencies, but you still have, they still go out there and produce.
Yeah, I feel like game to game, I kind of keep the same idea. But when you play someone a lot, you kind of have to just adapt a little quicker than normal.
Yeah.
Because like when we play, you see us play these games online, and it's like we want to get no hit for the first 3 innings, and that fourth inning comes around. It's like, all right, now I know exactly what this guy's doing, and you might just turn
Yeah, it takes
it on
a
in the
while.
fourth.
It takes a while to feel people out. I mean, that's usually what I'm doing the first few innings.
Yeah, since we've played so much that it's like the good thing about playing so much is that we both know that we're not jerks.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
That is a very good thing, especially with the online environment this day and age, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
like TJ's
we're not gonna
having some issues here.
I think my controller's bad. I think
Going back to that.
You do realize that was said prior to this game as well. So the excuse was built in. I didn't realize he was doing it. I'm pretty sure you did that because you called him on it.
Let me try
Preparing.
What if I switch to the other one and then it's straight domination from here on out?
Well, the best part is he's going to switch to the other one and it's going to shut the game out and disconnect it.
Oh man.
So you just know it's coming.
Oh, I gotta find a way to get a run in while I got
it must be the controller.
Got him on the ropes here.
Because if you saw, like, when I was aiming low and in, it would, like, bounce around a lot. Hey, with the controller, doesn't seem to be doing that. Oh, jeez.
Damn.
Good thing Jose Altuve has these little tiny legs that run real fast.
That was a kind of a meatball.
Kids' Toys Fun. How are you? We're doing well. Luis Valbuena hits bombs with a 224 average. Power swing?
He is very much a power. Yeah, he's very much a power guy.
So just power swing?
No, I think because you have the higher power, you don't have to power swing. That'd be like me power swinging with Chris Davis and making his PCI so small. How many times am I going to reference Chris Davis in this podcast, or this stream?
Now, here's my question. When I'm confident that I know where he's going to throw the pitch, should I call it out?
No, actually, you know what? Go for it.
It's very tricky, right? How many times did I pull it to you?
Says he's from Canada. He's from Canada.
Canada.
And he wants to buy this game.
It's a good game. Who's the Canadian cover?
Oh,
Is it
come on.
Donaldson?
Yes, Donaldson. Yep.
Yeah. How many times did I call what pitch you were throwing last game? At least
how
2.
many times did you actually hit it? Is the question.
I think both times.
No, you didn't hit it both times.
I got the pitcher up next. I was thinking about bunting, but
Jeez.
that's gonna get down.
Wait a second. The DH doesn't.
I'm tired and did not realize that we're an American League team. That we're in American Park. Yeah, so there's DH. Duh.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yep, I was thinking.
Oh, here comes the. We didn't see that one.
Yeah, Jose Altuve.
Offline throw. Yep.
Small but packs a punch.
Lenny Bellins is attempting to figure out how to donate. Don't think that
That hit
option
the
is turned on
ground?
right now.
Hey man,
That hit the ground?
the heads up play by my guy on third base.
What happened there?
Hey man, see how I
I
said?
thought that was.
Normally the
Why
fourth
was he
inning
so
is closer.
casual? Why was he so casual about that?
Probably a lower inning. As I said, fourth inning explosion. But since we know each other, you gotta adapt faster. Third inning explosion.
I've heard that about you, TJ.
Just blowing. I don't even know what gaming for good is. Going for the hill.
Uh-oh.
For good.
Going
Get
for
to
the
the
hill.
hill.
If you do want to donate, you can always go to thatsportsgamer.com/extralife. Support the kids at the Children's Miracle Network Hospital in New Jersey.
Gaming for Good is a payment site that you can connect with Twitch. Looks like it's Twitch exclusive.
I'll have to check it out.
Hmm.
Never heard of it.
Looks interesting.
You can tip me on YouTube, youtube.com/thatsportsgamer. That's a thing. I don't know how that works.
Rocket Powered Zombie, good question here. Who's a good second baseman for Diamond Dynasty? He's currently using Dustin Pedroia or Joe Panic based on IE,
Panic
but he's
Padisca.
still looking for something extra.
Can I
Cano.
shout out Mookie Betts?
Oh yeah.
That's a very good point.
Cano also good.
Okay, well, that's going to be very easy. Butter biscuits, probably not what we want to do. So, I appreciate that.
I feel like I'm always terrified throwing a changeup. I feel like I'm always terrified throwing most pitches.
Jay Young throwing out the advice of possibly the flashback Dan Ugla, who great power, cheap to pick up.
It's a great early season card.
Yep.
If you're still building.
To upgrade from Pedroia.
When you're upgrading from Pedroia and Panic, I don't think that's really the play. I like the card, but I don't think it's an upgrade from those guys.
Right. I do like Mookie Betts a lot. I think the defense takes a hit, but let's be honest. Mookie Betts' bat easily beats that. If you're looking to grind innings, I say you could go for the Kinsler for the Texas Rangers. I believe he has probably an elite bat for second base.
You also like that Zobrist, from what I remember.
I like the Zobrist a lot, especially against righties.
Matt Carpenter, straight beast.
Yeah, Matt Carpenter was recently moved to second base, so you're not taking the ratings hit for defense.
Jose Altuve doing this
Every time. Every time.
His little legs run so well. How's Betts' defense at second? Pretty good. It's a secondary position, so he's going to take a 5% hit, but other than that.
And that's one of those things, like, second base seems to be a position you can moderately well hide guys at.
Oh, you're going to be hosed, sir. By a mile!
I mean, you definitely notice when a guy like Jonathan Scope is playing second base with a 90 arm strength, but...
Or an Altuve.
Definitely Altuve, yep.
I mean, if you can afford it, Altuve.
Is that Rasmus in left field?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
I was hoping he would throw it offline, obviously.
Yeah, Lenny, I actually have it up on my web browser right now looking into it. I'm going to forward the link over to ThatSportsGamer once he is done losing to Pasta.
That's just wonderful.
Offline throw. Not going to risk it.
You would have been out.
Also,
Great job. I was just about to say how good Martin is out in center field, and that happens.
With Martin's upgrades, as the year's gone on, he's really become. I mean,
who's your left fielder?
Aoki.
Ooh,
Oh!
Come on!
He is not A-OK out there, if you know what I'm saying. Da-da-da-da-da.
Man, that's so terrible.
Come on.
We got this.
Are you
guys.
kidding me? Watch this, because you're behind.
I don't know if you guys know, I Mercy ruled J.O., because that's what the chat wanted. Is there Mercy in friendly head-to-heads?
You know who did Mercy Rule?
I wasn't trying to Mercy rule you. We're friends.
Yeah. What? I'm sure Jay is going to be very happy to hear that. Screen capping it now.
Ugly. I also heard Game Wisp. I met them up at PAX. It's another, like, if you're not partnered, they kind of do the same partner stuff for Twitch.
Oh, nice.
Power swung right into the ground, 105 miles an hour.
You know, you can get Martine for about 400 stubs for Diamond Dynasty right now.
He's really good. He's got a lot of range in the outfield. Of course, that didn't look great in that other play earlier, but.
Well, I love his 73 reaction. He's got an 82 arm strength, which in center field is not something you see a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I shouldn't mention this, but 99 drag bunt, 99 bunt.
Yes.
Ooh,
Well,
fire.
he's been doing that. He's been doing that in real games this
Yeah, no, I mean I love guys that can do that. The guys that can pop the bunt over the pitcher's head.
Never really. This is the guy from the Rangers, right?
Well, he
Yeah,
was on the Rangers.
yeah.
He is now the center fielder for the Mariners that you're playing.
He just
Yep.
never lived up to that potential in Texas. They always thought he was going to be like a superstar, but
Well, and I think the other thing with him in Texas is they ended up getting guys like they signed Hamilton right around the time when he went to. Did he go from Texas to Seattle?
Are you talking about Martin?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I think he was Wilhelms in the deal. I forget if it was him, but yeah.
Love me.
Yes, I mean
Wilson.
they have a ton of outfielders right now, so I think he became expendable. Especially, I think the Shields came up about the same time. So,
No, Martin was before that. Martin was
Oh.
before Shields.
Oh, was he?
Great play, Castro. Like a cat.
Rocket Power Zombie says, "How is Posey? He's a diamond. He might want to save for." Personally,
Does he have a lot of power? I
Buster-
feel like he's just straight contact.
he's a high contact guy. I'll tell you 1 second here.
He's like a better Lucroy.
Yeah, he's
Is that what I'm guessing?
87-90 contact versus righty lefty, and then power's 57-60. So he's not a slouch. 76 arm strength, 77 arm accuracy, and 86 blocking. So he has a huge blocking rating. The problem for me is, so you're looking at like 50,000 stubs for him. I think there's options that you could play better with. Obviously, I've talked about the Yogi Berra before. With his 80 power versus righties and 69 contact versus lefties, 99 plate vision, 91 clutch, 87 arm strength, 85 blocking. And the cool thing about Berra is he's short, so you get that smaller strike zone. So,
And short compact swing as well.
yes. So I think I would say if you don't mind grinding, I would bypass the Posey. Either go for the Berra or use your I think a lot of people are fans of using the created player at catcher because of
That
the
seems to be a popular thing.
right.
I have a question about that because how do you get their arm strength up? Because it seems like my created guy at catcher, even though I fed him a lot of catchers, has a terribly weak arm.
Find one Aaron Hicks on the Yankees and feed him a bunch of Aaron Hicks.
All right.
So yeah,
It
you
doesn't
find
matter
guys.
what position to get the catcher's arm up.
No, it's not specifically for the catcher's arm.
Okay.
It's arm strength in general.
So
So
if
if you feed him, some Kevin Kiermaiers. I say Hicks because he's a bronze. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you right now who would be a great guy to do that. Shout out to Daddy Leagues, who makes pretty much all research possible for the show.
Also, catchers do the salty Grandal always.
Yeah.
Offensively, there's nothing better. Unless you're spending 50, 60,000 subs.
Come on. What is with my defense?
Must be that they're used to all that moisture in the air playing in Seattle.
Yeah, maybe.
No, that cutter is nasty, and I'm definitely going to fall for it one of these times. Like, I'm going to take a pitch that's going to come right over the middle of the plate.
Yeah, there's a ton of guys on the market right now that you can get, like a Juan Lagares, who has 86 arm strength for less than 100. Let's see here. Michael Taylor, 87 arm strength, center fielder for the Washington Nationals.
Good pitch.
There's Monty Tomas, who, again, third baseman for Arizona, came up in our budget discussion, 92 arm strength. Or just if you want to stick with catcher, Robinson Chirinos. He'll get your arm strength, arm accuracy, and your blocking up all at once.
Little Will in the chat asks, what sports games do we play?
All.
All?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
pretty
all
much.
of them.
I still have to check if I installed NBA 2K.
NBA 2K is so good. I can't say how much I'm in love with the My GM in that game.
Yeah, I'd say right now my main stuff is the show, Out of the Park Baseball, which I am the community manager for, Madden, I feel like that's kind of it right now. I still can't get into any basketball game. They're just not as good as they used to be.
I forced myself to learn 2K. Like I went into like all the videos, the Sam Fam, the all the dribble videos, just to learn everything because I wanted to be better at the game. And now I'm in year 3 of a Sacramento Kings, my GM, which I'm having just a ton of fun with because I won the lottery the first year. So
what's funny is last year or the year before? No, probably 2 years ago now. I went and I learned, like went through all the tutorials in NBA, and I was like, oh, I get it now. Then I think I went away for like a weekend, and I came back and I'm like, I have literally no idea what I'm doing. Do I only play on PS4? I have both PS4 and Xbox One. Shout out to what's that thing called? EA Sports.
EA Access.
Yeah.
Go.
Nope, not gonna go.
EA Access right now has Battlefield Hardline, which is not a great game, but I like the story mode for some reason. It just drew me in because I pretty much knew it was going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
You
have to accept that.
Big fan of EA Access. I barely use it, but big fan.
I mean, it's pretty much outside of PC gaming the best deal in gaming, I would think, right? Has to be.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, $30 for a year.
So, but I mean, talking about what games we all play, obviously TJ, his name is ThatSportsGamer, so goes ahead and plays pretty much everything that I know about. Like I said, outside of basketball games, I know Brian PastaPadre runs the Press Row podcast, which is the pretty much sports gaming podcast to end all sports gaming podcasts.
I like to think so.
Yeah, I mean, I've looked around just to find more content. I don't think anyone really does that.
I mean, that's what Gamer Show used to do it, but kind of.
No, it's hard. It's hard. There's not that many games anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and
every year it
really
seems like
cool,
there's less and less.
Yeah.
Though this year, big
really,
comeback. Can you be quiet for 1 minute?
No, I'm talking.
This year, we got some new games. We got that new what's the snowboarding game?
Yep. Steep.
New golf clubs coming out. Which I still haven't read that blog post, but
God, my defense is awful.
So there's stuff. I'm very sad that there's no pro baseball spirits anymore, but you may now continue, Millennium.
No, I was just going on because it's cool because the developers now come on your show, Brian, and talk to you. Like you had the announcers on the day they were announced.
Yeah, Rich handled that interview, but yeah, that was pretty cool. Have access to them for an interview and talk over everything that went into their selection and the process behind how they record those lines and how they end up in the game and how they're used.
Kids Toys Fun wants to know if we get paid from being on Twitch.
I
won't lie.
The answer.
I don't think we're.
Go ahead.
I don't think we're one of those people who get thousands of dollars in donations each time, right?
I do make a couple cents when I send it to YouTube.
Cents is probably a good description.
Definitely. That's fairly accurate. I would say.
Unless you're one of the big name streamers or the big name YouTubers. Don't really make money.
Every couple months I get a check from YouTube. And it says from Disney World, so that's awesome. Come on, Carlos Gomez. I don't have to put in Jake Marisnik over you.
Jake Marisnik is a very good outfielder.
Very fast, good bunts.
Yep.
He's got dumps like a truck, as some would say.
4 errors. I've got 4 errors now. This is absurd.
TJ rigged the game.
Chris, can you please read Rocket Powered Zombies question?
Thanks, guys. He was going to pick up Saleh. That's the only reason you did it. Yes. And I do it completely, like, without question now. I don't even think about it. It just comes out.
Mr.
So he was going to pick up Chris Sale because he's a White Sox fan, but he's had his doubts. He's looking at which diamond he wants now.
Diamond SP? Is that the question?
Yes.
Syndergaard. No. Who's the other guy? Who got scratched tonight? Strasburg.
Actually, I take that back. He's looking for diamond in general. He's not necessarily a starting pitcher because he was also who asked about Posey.
Look at that.
Right into the shift.
Boom.
Oh, I can't get through anything through your infield. That's for sure. And then the shift killed me there.
Manny Machado's a beast.
Yep.
Diamonds, 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 diamonds. Who else shines bright like a
Think
diamond?
about. I mean, Rizzo, and you're not spending the entire bulk of your stubs on him.
Again, Rizzo, I feel like he's gonna take a negative point hit at some point.
Yeah.
But maybe not now. He's kind of coming back. I would definitely say don't spend it on Stanton.
I can speak that Paul Goldschmidt is really, really good at first base.
How's he hitting in real life, though? Because I don't want to see... My biggest worry about literally any of this is I don't want to get a guy and then next roster update, he gets hosed.
Yeah.
It's funny you mention that, sir.
How about I go pull a Kenley Jansen and be very mad? I don't like your 19 steal. What are you doing over there?
What is he? What?
I saw you take a lead, and I'm like, what are those ratings? Get them.
So over the last, let's see here.
Castro. Like a cat. Stro. Cruising right here.
Since June 1st, he is hitting 343,
Get him.
slugging 597, 4 home runs, 5 doubles, 12 RBIs.
I'm liking Castro Oppo field. What up with Nolan Arenado as well? He's kind of a beast.
Yeah, Arenado's got the power numbers over Manny, whereas Manny's got the contact numbers over Arenado, I think.
But you get shortstop eligibility. I hope they leave shortstop eligibility on Machado.
I mean, worst case scenario, he goes back to. I mean, he's going to keep the eligibility. It just might not be primary.
True. That's what I'm saying.
When did they start adding DraftKings and FanDuel fantasy points to Baseball Reference?
I think at the beginning of the season.
Oh, wow. That's pretty amazing.
Can I get hit with Jose Altuve? Nope. Oh, I got it! Get up the hill! Get up the hill! Get up the hill! Go, 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 go. We're going. We're going 4. We're going 4. I don't care. We're going 4. We're going 4.
That's
Get
great.
down.
There's error number 5 for that I have no control over.
So, guys, don't be the Mariners in the West. Too many errors.
What the? This is not. They're actually a fairly decent defensive team. I don't understand what's going on here. That's the 5th error.
Chris, can you teach him how to feather the controller?
No, we're not going to talk about feathering the controller while people are having errors. We'll talk about that on another day. Rocket Power Zombie says, "Oh, so how's the Arenado? Arenado's a beast, and that Jimenez is a beast too. I've seen people literally shut down entire teams with that Jimenez. The Jimenez has 97 speed on his fastball.
Ubaldo Jimenez, also wild
Ubaldo.
lineup.
And low control, but
Get up, get up, get up.
Rocket Power Zombie says he's just picked up Larkin. Larkin, widely considered one of the best shortstops in the game.
Really? I felt like his ratings weren't that good. Maybe I didn't look at him close enough.
People like him over who's the other shortstop? Not Cal.
Alzanius Smith.
No, there was another one besides Ozzy. Over the Robin Yount. Yeah, he just picked up. He says he just picked up Larkin. He still uses Seager. So for a bit, he's okay at shortstop. He's mainly looking at starting pitcher and third base.
Seager's a beast. Love him.
Can I speak for Jose Fernandez, who just had an update to his slider, which makes him very close to Thor level? I know you have words. Go ahead.
Here's my question about Jose Fernandez. Are you playing online or are you playing offline? I feel like online Jose Fernandez is extremely hittable. That might just be me. I don't know.
We could also say that about Saleh too, because
the rookie Saleh, yes. I don't know about I don't think I faced the Diamond one enough.
Starting pitcher Saleh. Yeah. I think the starting pitcher Saleh is kind of like the relief pitcher Saleh because you're still using the same motion, and his motion is half the battle against him.
True.
So,
I don't like this at all. I don't like they only have 3 bench players because they have the deepest bullpen in baseball.
This is just 5 errors. You've got to be kidding me.
Hey man.
TJ, that's not fair.
Don't hate the player. I mean, maybe through some strikes would be better.
I'm executing my strategy just fine, thank you.
Yep. How's that working for you?
Those 5 errors, maybe you could argue one of those errors were on. I not even had any control over.
At this point, I'm actually curious how many of the runs were earned.
It might be 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think 2 possibly.
Gotta get in there. Gotta break that up.
Let me see. I could check.
Who is Marwin Gonzalez?
He is their utility guy.
Good contact versus lefties. What you gonna do?
Mm-hmm. What's going on, Raging Rhino? Welcome to the chat. Cavs fan 444 probably recuperating today after massive partying last night.
Oh, I can see my real player stats here. Oh no, this is real regular thing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is their actual stats. I think.
Probably
No, it can't be because Marwin Gonzalez does not have 12 home runs.
Never know. Oh, look at this guy, Nick Vincent coming in.
Nick Vincent, we talked about, one of those good relievers in the bullpen for Seattle. All right,
Get
Lenny,
it. Get
thanks
it.
for stopping by,
That's
my man.
foul.
Hit that pole.
Foul.
You next Monday at 10 p.m.
Yep, next Monday, 10 p.m. Bullpen Banter, talking about the NL West. Oh, I hit that
with
ball.
a guest expert of somebody in the NL West.
Do we know anybody that likes NL West teams?
We might. We actually might.
All right.
I know a very pretty hefty Matt Kemp fan.
Are you calling someone fat and a Matt Kemp fan?
Maybe I meant Matt Kemp was the hefty one.
Oh.
Like he's a fan of hefty Kemp, but not thin Kemp.
Yeah, I think we're all fan of hefty Kemp. Pre-Rihanna Kemp? And I think the week after is 4th of July is on Monday, so I think we'll be recording Tuesday. We're kind of debating right now.
Possibly, yeah. Depending upon schedules. Lenny, they're going to check it out after. ThatSportsGamer is going to check it out after the game, so he definitely will check it out, though.
How do you get that Larkin card?
I believe that is the embody for Reds. So you have to do a certain amount of innings for the Reds.
Granted, a lot of errors. I also worked Brian's starting pitcher up into the 90s in the last inning, and I'm just got to my 70th pitch.
Yeah, that's true. I've had a couple opportunities. I've not come through them in the runners in scoring positions, though.
Well, you tested Colby Rasmus. I don't know what you were expecting.
The command mission for the Reds is the 87 Shin-Soo-Choo, and the feed mission is the 94 Larkin. Yeah, I think it is 1150 for that one.
There we go. That's what I was. Oh, I wanted to get by the pitch. What happened? Wouldn't throw it?
I just didn't want to throw it. I wanted to go to second because I thought I had to play there, but nobody was really covering.
Oh, that would explain it. Yeah. See, that's what we were talking about right there. There's that kind of bunt with Martin. Money. Part of the time. Although TJ might have had him at first.
I've also learned recently that if you are preloading throws, the term preloading actually means to release the button before the ball hits your glove.
Oh,
there we go. Oh,
I just heard like hope being taken away.
I thought it was gone. I thought he wasn't. It was weird because it wouldn't let me like jump. I was trying to do the jump for it.
Oh, it went into an animation for it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I was not prepared on the base pass. I got one. That's okay. No outs.
Chipping away.
Yep. TJ knows this from Madden and from the show. I'm better late in games than I am early.
Fourth quarter father? Is that what we're talking about?
I relish the opportunity to make comebacks on people. I don't panic. That's the key.
I like to hot dog the opportunity to make comebacks, people.
Yeah, I know you do. You mustard it.
Can we just have a real quick poll right here? Mustard or ketchup on a hot dog? The answer is ketchup.
Yes. I'm with ketchup. I'll go with ketchup.
I'm a ketchup guy too. Yeah.
So many people think that's like disgusting or something.
I don't understand any of those people.
Cavs fan, just got the game. Wants to know how to get Bench and Morgan. Just real quick. I'm pretty sure the bench is you have to collect all of the cards in the NL Central. And I believe the Joe Morgan is a whole lot more than that. The Joe Morgan is a Battle Royale reward that you have to earn in that mode randomly.
I was watching Boomer and Carton. I don't know if you guys know of the show in your independent territories with Boomer Esiason. And the other guy was like, I went to Boomer's house one day, and he put out ketchup with his hot dogs. Boomer Esiason literally got up, walked over to him, threw his chair out from under him, and was like, "You take that back." It was awesome. I was like, I don't know, ketchup's good on a hot dog.
I can absolutely see that.
I'll see if I can find a video clip.
Are you aware that there was a strawberry moon tonight?
Daryl Strawberry Moon?
Oh,
What does that even mean?
Apparently it is a lunar phenomenon that has not happened since 1967.
Didn't see it. Must have missed that. Busy playing MLB The Show.
Won't happen again until 2062.
I'll be there.
planning ahead, huh? Make your reservations.
Just let me know. Is it a Monday? We got a show that night?
God, I hope not.
Oh, come on.
That'll be the show 2062. That's gonna be the best year. You know what? In 2088, we're gonna be remembering remember the MLB The Show 2062? So good.
No, it'll be MLB 2K 26.
all the developers are gonna be in the same studio.
There's not even gonna be developers anymore. The game's just gonna make itself.
Why can't you drop that for once?
Whoa, why do you gotta be a hater?
The 5 errors.
Whoa.
I had no control over.
I felt a curse was coming on there.
Jeez.
Jeff Hornacek on the triangle. Dun, dun, dun. They don't have a backup catcher? Damn it. I'm going to have to go contact swing with Evan Gaddis. Just to try to get something. Strike 3. CBS Sports. They're on your local CBS Sports affiliate. Check them out in the morning. Boomer and Garden. Ketchup. We think they spelled like cats up, so it's going to be hard for me to find.
Oh, damn.
That's one of those ones I feel should not be hit that way.
How did you
I don't
pull
know.
an outside changeup like that?
No idea. I felt like it shouldn't be possible.
That was out of the zone, I'm pretty sure, too.
Oh, I didn't check the thing. 3-play.
Yeah.
That's one of those ones where I'm like, that shouldn't be a home run.
Didn't feel right.
And then I dink it. Oh!
He can't even pick it up. He can't even pick up the ball.
Did you guys pick it up? Because on my screen, he's literally just looking at it on the ground next to him.
No, he picked it up on mine, thankfully. I have to see it on the stream. I want to see what it looked like. You just walked away from it?
He's just like, nah, we good. Oh, contact swing for the bread.
Double him up, double him up.
Nah, it's too fast. I was trying to go through the hole. It wasn't there. I mean, it was there, but I couldn't get it.
Yeah.
Jose Altuve, I feel like, hasn't done enough this game. Especially doing stuff like that.
He still won't.
Some would say he's too good.
Altuve is too good?
That's why they call him Al Too Good sometimes. Little known fact. Also, little known fact, I did not warm up any of my bullpen like I was supposed to. Ken Giles is still cold.
You just pull the old mound visit, and then second mound visit to put the guy in.
Yep. That'll work.
It's alright, I got
Another workaround that should probably fix at some point.
I got the niche on the mound. Oh, He put that one into the dugout. I think he just killed the guy in the dugout. Unbelievable.
If I'm not going to win, I'm going to at least do that.
He's not going to win. He's going to take as many players down as he possibly can.
They're going down with me.
Pasta taking my approach. I'm just start pegging people, and
that's the Rich Grisham approach. He anytime he wants to move a pitcher, he just gets him dead.
George Springer's got a big glove out there.
Made a lot of good contact in this game. Didn't matter.
Doesn't matter when you got Pat Neshek on the mound.
8 hits to 9 hits.
Oh, no, I hit the wrong button. I meant to mound visit. Oh, man. Will Harris, 91. Will Harris is an interesting pitcher. We're going to bring him in there. Ken Giles has a... he's got a flat brim, so I don't think we'll ever use him.
It could be worse. It could be Pedro Strop.
Paul Sporer, flat brim guy. Not a fan.
Really?
Not a fan.
I've just lost all the respect.
I wonder if
Can you
Brian...
throw the pitch faster, please?
I wonder if Brian...
I like that he let him go all the way to his set when there's no box turned on.
Hey, man.
Oh, terrible.
I don't like the balk. What do you want me to do?
You don't have it turned on.
Shh, I don't care. I don't want to mess up the animation.
All right, I don't care. I'm going to bring in Daeho Lee.
Bunt Ionetta is what you should have done.
Yeah, maybe.
Just start bunting until he gets you out.
We should have brought in Mike Zunino.
And this looks nothing like Daeho Lee.
Wow, that's the whitest guy I've ever seen, who's also not fat.
Yeah, I will say I think that's the other upgrade for OSFM and a couple of the other custom rosters for that matter. I just talk from experience. They do custom faces, and some of the guys that do faces, I don't know how they do them.
They do have the stance down there.
I'm amazed he has 28 speed.
Yeah. Luis Valbrena, 3-4 with a homer.
He could roll to first base and probably get there faster.
I look forward to TJ to playing a game where defense doesn't crap all over itself.
Thank you guys for watching this Game of the Week, where I won yet again. Have I lost on a Game of the Week yet?
You've only played me once on the Game of the Week.
I just mean in general. I know if I played you, I'd
talk
have more
about the
ones.
game you lost to Jo.
No, that happened on his stream, not our stream, so it's all good. I do need to play him to finish the series in like a legit stadium. Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. If you want to follow us, you can hit us up on Twitter at ThatSportsGamer, at Millennium OS, and at PastaPadre. We're also on Twitch, as you know, because you're already on Twitch. Twitch.tv/ThatSportsGamer. Twitch.tv. What do you stream on, Pasta?
Hit the pass.
Twitch.tv/HitThePass, which is also where you can find the blog post for our budget players from the last couple of weeks. And Millennium streaming over at Twitch.tv/Operation Sports. Tell me about your Rockies franchise.
We just hit year 3. We actually have a team of a bunch of rookies because we traded away a ton of guys and some good pitching. So letting the chat make all the moves that I put up decisions for them, they vote on it, and then I just do it. And they're doing a bang-up job. Amazingly.
Excellent. All right, guys. Don't forget, next Monday, 10 p.m. Eastern, we'll be back with Bullpen Banter talking about the NL West. Millennium, why don't you say the slogan? He doesn't have the Google Drive tab open.
I don't need the Google Drive open. You ready for this?
Sure, go for it.
First, go listen to the Press Row podcast. Then,
no, because Brian doesn't invite me anymore. So no,
I don't care. I don't care.
Download
it every week. I don't care.
This is what you do. This is the pro tip for the Press Row podcast.
I'm saying the line. You want the line? Or
Here's
not?
the pro
I have
tip.
It set and ready to go.
Pro tip for the Press Row podcast: download the episode because those downloads are important. Then swipe left to Marcus Plate.
Rating. Give it a rating.
Give it a rating. Yes, 5-star rating.
Stars.
Who uses iTunes?
I actually don't. I use Google Play. So
nobody ever in the world used iTunes. Say it.
Get out of the... I can't do it. I'm done. I'm tapping out. Get out of the bullpen and get into the game.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you again next week.